Dorothy from Let's Eat Malaysian. Today I'm going to cook a Chinese vegetarian dish. Now this dish is usually done on the first day of Chinese New Year. And the ingredients that we have, usually there is at least 10 ingredients minimum. So what we have here is tofu, fried tofu puff that I've cut up. They're usually in small square cubes. Now if you don't have tofu puff, you can also use soya bean sheets, but normally you have to pre-fry them until golden brown. This is one of the types. You can use fried soybean sheets, but this one I have is pre-fried bean curd sheet, but I'm not using this for this recipe. I've got here a handful of Ginkgo Nuts. These are actually sold peeled, and usually it's already frozen, so you have to thaw. I've thawed about a handful of Ginkgo Nuts. I've got here 12 dried shitake mushrooms that I've cut up into thick slices. Now this is red dates, and this is dried red dates. You normally can get them in the Asian shops, and they actually come like this. It's a whole one, but I like to get those that has been de-seeded, so you can actually see there's a hole here. And what you do is you just cut them into slices like this thick. So I have here 12 of these dried red dates. This is dried lily flower, and dried lily flower, which we also call as golden needles. Chinese call them as golden needles, which is called kam cham in Cantonese. Now as you see, it comes in a form like this. They're actually dried lily flower, and to prepare this, what you do is there's a hard bit here. You peel this off, you soak it, and once it's soaked, you can actually tie a knot. It's only for texture. You don't have to tie, but it's up to you. Normally tie a knot with this. I've got 2 brown onions that I've chopped up. A can of corn spears. Is it called? A can of corn spears. Some are pre-cut. If not, if they are long, you can cut them about 1.5 inch. A can of button mushrooms or champignons. Now these I'll keep the water, because when you do your vegetarian, you'll be having to add water. So like these, I'll just cut into half. So I'll do that later. Here I have is what we call the black fungus, and this is the small type. There's 2 types of black fungus. What I'm using in this dish is the small one that you soak in hot water and it'll bloat up. Now if you buy it in a packet, it will look like this. This is the black fungus, and it is a small one. You can see it's small, and it comes like this. Now don't be fooled. Don't put a lot, because when a handful like this will probably bloat up to this amount, so that's a lot. Now for this black fungus, what you can do is to cut this into smaller pieces, not too small. So you don't want it too small, you can't eat anything. So you want it like this, so that when you cook, it'll become soft. I have here, I'm using a small wombok, and this is about half a small wombok that I've cut into about 1.5 inch slices. Half a wombok, small wombok. Now the most important ingredient actually is the red bean curd. They call it here red bean curd. This red bean curd, this bottle is almost finished, so I've got here an extra one, and you use quite a few cubes. Now if you I can't, well, anyway, so this is the red bean curd, and this one is open. It comes in cubes, so it comes in cubes, and when I cook this, I will have to see how many cubes it will take depending on the amount of ingredients you have. Okay, that's about it. We can start to cook. I'm using here a wok. This is a two-handle wok. It's non-stick. And this dish will require quite a lot of oil. Now, as I said, this dish will take quite a bit of oil, so I'll start off with okay, so this we 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil. About 3 or 4 tablespoons of oil. Heat it up, and you start by frying your dried red dates. And I'm leaving it on high. Now that you can see the red dates is bubbling here, I'm going to lower down the fire to medium, because you don't want it to blacken. If not, you burn the thing. So you add in your brown onions. And you can add the rest of the stuff, like your golden needles, or shitake mushrooms, Ginkgo nuts, button mushrooms, and your corn. Okay. And you fry this up. And also put in your wood here. This is not going to dissolve. It will remain as it is. So mix it well, and you can fry it for about 5 minutes. Now you notice this dish doesn't have garlic. Normally this vegetarian dish we don't use garlic. Huh? You can then put in your red bean curd paste. Now what I have here is the water from the shiitake mushroom that I've soaked. I'm not going to throw this away because all the flavor is in there. I'm going to use this. And even the water from the baby corn and the button mushrooms. So we will put, I'm going to use it like about 3 cubes of bean curd for a start. Because this is salty, yeah? So 3 cubes, and I'm going to just pour whatever juice is inside. And yeah, just rinse this out and use the water. So put a bit of water, never waste. So we're going to just rinse the whole thing out. You put your tofu puffs last because it'll sort of melt down to, you know, soft, and it might disintegrate. So do that last before your dish is almost ready. So do that last. So wombok in. Now, as I mentioned all the time, what I've done with the bean curd, 3 cubes may not be enough, but you will have to taste as you go. So thoroughly mix your wombok in. Sometimes it's not matter of how many minutes, but looking at the condition of the ingredients here. So I want to get the wombok, you know, quite sunken in here. So, and mix well, not all puffed up. Now you can see that it is pretty dry. Okay, now you can add whatever water that you had from the mushroom sauce. You just, I'm straining it so that you don't, in case there's some bits there. Okay. Everything in your cans you can throw it in. Okay, about a cup. 1 more cup of water. And you can raise your fire. Let it boil, and then only you lower down the fire for it to cook. You want to boil all this down. So right now, we'll close the lid and let it boil. Okay, now you can see it's boiling. I haven't done anything with the flame, it's still on high. Give it a good mix. Okay, now I'm going to lower the flame to medium low so that it will slowly boil. Huh? Medium low, and it's not done yet, but what I want to do is now to put in my seasoning. I've done 3 cubes of bean curd. Taste it first to see whether the salt is enough, then only you start to add your other stuff. Huh? Not there yet. As I said, how much salt you want. If you're a person who likes a lot of salt, you put according to your taste. I'm going to put about half a teaspoon of salt. I always add some sugar to my dish, so I'm going to use about same, huh? About half a teaspoon of sugar. What I want to do now is to boil down this soup, and as it boils down, all the moisture from the wombok will come out. So what we're going to do is let the soup thicken a bit now. So just close the lid and continue to boil. Now this has been boiling for about 8 or 9 minutes. I'm now going to put it on low Lower the fire to low. Mix it from time to time or else it's boiling. Okay, going to put it to low. I'm going to add in my tofu. Yeah, I'll put one more cube and top up some oil. So you add one more cube of bean curd, a spoonful, well this is a Chinese spoon, so a spoonful of the sauce from the bean curd bottle. Okay, and top in a bit of oil because I want the end product to have a little bit of oil. Oil in vegetables, vegetarian, gives it a very good flavor. So I'm going to put it maybe about a spoon of oil, a tablespoon of oil, okay? Okay, now I'm going to put it back to a bit, slightly higher the flame. Just slightly higher, not too high, And I'm going to add another cup of water and let it go for another 10 minutes. Close. But you know, you can actually off and on, open the lid and mix the ingredients. So let's go for another 10 minutes. Okay, the dish has been boiling for another 10 minutes. So, and this is just nice. The soup is just, now if you want the sauce or soup, as I call it, to be a bit thick, you can always add a bit of corn flour mixed with a bit of water to thicken up, but I like it this way. And I'm trying not to make this dish too salty because my family like to have it just like that without any rice. So usually in Chinese New Year we make a very big pot of this vegetarian dish and they can eat this for days. It's not easy to try to cook this dish in small amounts because by the time you add in at least 10 ingredients, you're looking at a rather big bulk of it. No? Now the other thing you can actually add in if you want to bulk it up is to use glass noodles to put it in. Glass noodles don't have a flavor, but it'll have that texture, you know, that slippery texture to it. So taste is good. I'm just going to add this, optional to you. This is what I call MSG, but this is Vitsin, which is better flavoring than Ajinomoto. So I'm just going to put like 3 dashes of it. It just gives it a bit more oomph. It's not really necessary if you don't like to have MSG in your dish, okay? Now, as I said, it's according to your taste. If you think it's not salty enough for you, you can add in a bit more salt, but always use your salt sparingly because if you put too much, you cannot, you know, correct the thing by adding more and more water, because the more water you add in to get rid of the saltiness, the flavor will just, you know, be off. It won't be what you want to get. Okay, this is just nice for me. So it's done. Well, I hope you try this dish. And if you like it, please like my page and subscribe. Thank you.